Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another video and we are back with another review, but this time it's not a pay-per-view. This time we are doing WWE Raw live on Netflix. We are reviewing the very first show that happened today, January the 6th, the start of the Netflix era for WWE. This could be something that we look back in 5 years' time and say this was terrible, or this could be something that we look back in 5 years' time and say this was amazing and a fantastic decision by the WWE. I guess only time will tell. Time will only tell. With that being said, I'm doing it a little bit different today. Putting all the graphics on the side here. That is simply to just get this video out nice and quick for you guys. The quicker it is, the better it is. So with that being said, let's start looking at the show. The very first thing that we got from the show was Triple H standing in the ring. So there was a big curtain around the ring and like a graphic played around it. So I think the graphic was shared on social media before the show actually. It was kind of like just an intro graphic about wrestling, if that makes sense. And then Triple H, the curtain is revealed, pyro everywhere. Triple H has like a welcome to Netflix promo basically in the ring. It's typical stuff that you'd expect. Nothing really to take away from that, but typical welcome to this new era of WWE type promo from Triple H. But then we get If You Smell the Rock comes in, and we get a segment from the Rock. Now, not with Triple H in the ring. Triple H leaves and then the Rock comes in. The Rock gives his thanks to WWE, to Netflix, to the producers, to whoever, and also to Cody Rhodes, who he says has carried WWE on his back, and also to Roman. He acknowledges Roman. Now, he makes a bit of jokes with Cody. He's all light-hearted with Cody. He makes slight mention of the fact that they left each other bloody all across America, apparently. But there was that one show, but anyway, fantastic moments. But that's not the point. The point is, did they forget about what happened? Did they forget about the build-up to WrestleMania? Is that all just gone now and forgotten about? If so, very disappointing. I'm not sure though, because he was even on a live Instagram live having shots with Cody. He was backstage hugging Cody. I don't like it. I hope they just haven't forgot about it, and I hope some sort of swerve comes from this, but that's just going to make Cody look stupid for trusting him. So, I don't know. I think this also tells us that The Rock might not be taking part in WrestleMania. If he does, it's not against Cody, it's against Roman. That's how I look at it. But we'll get to that a little bit later, or shortly actually, because then we had the battle of the Tribal Chiefs. Who is the real Tribal Chief? Is it Solo Sikoa? Is it Roman Reigns? Only one way to find out. So, Paul Heyman introduces Roman Reigns, which I thought was absolutely amazing. Goosebumps. Absolute goosebumps when Roman Reigns was introduced. So back and forth action between both men, with eventually Solo Sikoa taking control after landing a Uranagi on the table to Roman Reigns. And then thereafter, after the break, Solo just dominates Romans with chair shots after chair shots after chair shots. And Roman eventually gets out of the way when Solo Sikoa is looking to do his running attack into the corner with the chair over Roman. He gets out of the way, and that's now when Roman Reigns starts making his comeback. We get to a point where there is a concerto situation, so basically where a chair is under Solo Sikoa, and then Roman Reigns is about to hit Solo Sikoa over the head with another chair. But Solo gets out the way, and then Solo takes a bit of the advantage over it again. We then get a powerbomb from Roman Reigns through a table, taking out Solo Sikoa. The match looks all but over, but no, Tama Tonga pulls the ref out of the ring, stopping the count. Now this is where the overbooking nonsense that I absolutely loved. I love the overbooking nonsense. When I say nonsense, I just mean, you get what I mean. I don't mean it literally. We got the likes of Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu, Sami Zayn, Jey Uso all getting involved here and having their say in this whole match. Solo Sikoa and then spikes Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns kicks out. I think Solo Sikoa even ate a haluva kick and a spear, and he kicked out. Kevin Owens came in, hit a stunner on Roman Reigns out of nowhere, But he kicked out. Cody Rhodes then made the save. A lot of kicking out to everything here, by the way. That was a feature throughout the whole night, though. Eventually, though, Roman Reigns hits a final spear, and he wins, and he is the official tribal chief once again. I loved every minute of this overbooked nonsense. Every single minute. I gave this match 4 stars for a TV match that is really, really, really high. It was so much fun. The perfect way to kick off Netflix, in my opinion. I don't think there's any other better way to do it. As Paul Heyman is about to put the Fala onto Roman Reigns, out comes The Rock. And The Rock actually is the one to put it over Roman Reigns' shoulder. So that was a pretty cool moment. And then a little bit of a stare down, and then a hug to end off the segment. We then move on to a little graphic that basically shows that, the Penta signs that we've been seeing week in and week out on Raw. Well, now his name popped out and it said Penta. We know what's coming next. Oh, later in the night, I'll just touch on this now since we're talking about Penta. Chad Gable was talking with Adam Pearce, and he says he wants the best lucha next week because apparently he struggles against luchas. So, Penta versus Chad Gable? I'm down for it. That'll be a perfect start for Penta. Oh my soul. Now we move on to the sad part of the show. Sad, but at the same time encouraging. John Cena comes out. This is the start of John Cena's retirement tour. This is the start of his farewell. The last time is now, and that was on the little towel that he brings out every time. It said the last time is now. Don't know how I'm gonna take this, man. Don't know how I'm gonna take this. This year's gonna be something. So John Cena comes out, cuts a very, the promo you'd expect from Cena when making his retirement tour. But then he starts to bring up his streak, his losing streak of going 2,000 and odd days without a win. And people wanting him to win the Big 17, but he doesn't see it happening. And then he somehow convinces himself with the power of the fans that there's an option if he wins the Royal Rumble. So that's it. Cena is going to try and win the Royal Rumble and hopefully reach his 17th world title, perhaps at WrestleMania. Cena then also gives his thank yous to everybody, and the crowd gives their thank yous back. A little bit of an emotional yet encouraging promo from John Cena. I'm excited to see how this tour goes. I'm really excited to see. I'm excited to see him start wrestling. I'm excited for this year, but at the same time, don't know how I'm going to handle it. We then had a match between Liv Morgan taking on Rhea Ripley, and this is hopefully the final match that these two will ever have. Pretty decent match between these two, by the way. I will put that out there. This was impressive. So Rhea Ripley obviously starts off dominating, and she power bombs Liv Morgan into the announce table. The announce table doesn't break. This new announce table they have does not break. So then after some back and forth action, eventually Liv Morgan lands a backbreaker followed up with a tornado DDT, but only gets a 2 count. Rhea Ripley then lands Riptide, and Liv Morgan actually kicks out of Riptide. Crazy, but keeping Liv Morgan strong at least. That was very unexpected. Oblivion then onto a chair. So what happened was Dom threw the title in, the ref got distracted, put the title back outside, but that allowed Raquel Rodriguez to put a chair there, and Liv Morgan landed Oblivion onto the chair. That's when I thought, okay, Liv Morgan's retaining, but no, Rhea Ripley somehow kicked out of that, and the match continued. Liv then hit the 3 Amigos followed by a frog splash, but also only gets a 2 count. Then Liv tries another Oblivion, but this time Rhea Ripley catches her and hits 2 Riptides and wins the Women's World Championship. She is now a 2-time Women's World Champion. That specific title, she's obviously held other ones before. And really good match between these two. I gave it 3 stars. Decent stuff, nothing bad. Maybe it could have been more than 3 stars for that matter. Maybe it was just a bit short though. Really good stuff. After the match then, Dom tries to sneak in the ring and he offers a hug to Rhea Ripley. He's obviously just a gold digging bastard, I guess, and he's now trying to get Rhea Ripley to take him back, but nope, she kicks him in the balls. Riptide. Big celebrations again. Rhea Ripley walks up to the ramp and we hear dong. The Undertaker comes out and we hear Rollin. Did we hear Rollin? It might have been. I don't know. It was Undertaker in his biker outfit, his biker theme, the bike around the ring. Comes up to Rhea Ripley, fist bump, congratulates her. They do the whole thing where they stand, like Kane and Undertaker used to do, stand next to each other, lift the arm. Pretty cool stuff. Nice moment for Rhea Ripley. She got a good rub there. Yeah, she got the Undertaker rub. What more can we say? Really good match. Enjoyed it a lot. Not bad. Just to preference I just want to talk about the show as a whole now quickly before I move on to the next two matches. Fantastic. The camera shots, fantastic. The drone shots, fantastic. The new set, fantastic. The announce table looked really good. Everything about the way the Netflix show looked was absolutely fantastic from top to bottom. So props to them. I just wanted to point that out. Lots of celebrities at ringside. There was Hogan was there. Who else can I think of? Ashton Kutcher was there. Tiffany Haddish was there. There was a lot of people there. I'm probably forgetting so many. A lot of real people there. So, yeah, with that being said, let's move on to Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. And this, let me start off by saying the best part of this match was Jey Uso's entrance. Why? Travis Scott came out, blunt in his hand, smoking whatever. We know what it is. It reminded me of Sandman. I don't know why. Him standing there with the belt and then the cigarette, or not cigarette, but the smoke. He reminded me of Sandman. Really weird comparison, but yeah. Then Jay comes out, does the entrance with Travis Scott. Pretty cool stuff. We then got to the match. I'm not going to do a play-by-play for this match because I didn't enjoy it that much. At all, to be honest. It was pretty dull. I think we've seen this match far too many times already. That's the problem. But in the end, basically what it was a Claymore from a Claymore attempt from Drew McIntyre, but Jay drops down, crucifix, rolls him up, 1, 2, 3. That's pretty much it. Pretty simple stuff. 2.5 stars. Nothing special. Nothing bad. What more can I say? Honestly, what more can I say? It was just boring. We've seen it too many times. 2.5 stars average. Let's move on. We then got Hulk Hogan coming out to promote his beer. He got booed. That was fantastic, the fact that he got booed. Let's move on from that. We don't need to talk about Hulk Hogan. We then had the main event, Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And this was a fantastic wrestling match. This was different to the opening match. Maybe some people thought the opening match was better. Maybe some people thought this was better. But obviously two different things. One was overbooked, but good and fun. The other one was more of a wrestling match, which I'm not going to complain about at all. So this starts off like a real damn fight. That's what this starts off, which was what this fight was. This was meant to start off like a real fight. Both men eventually start fighting on the outside. They start fighting in the crowd even, and then they eventually work their way back into the ring. There was a top rope swinging neckbreaker from CM Punk. That looked pretty nasty. Punk then with his running knees into the corner thereafter. And then Punk goes for a crossbody, but Seth Rollins catches him and then powers up, lands a GTS to Punk, but Punk rolls out the ring. Punk hits a stomp on Seth Rollins, but only manages a 2 count. So both men landing finishes on each other. Seth Rollins landing a finisher or a GTS on Punk, and then Punk landing a stomp onto Seth Rollins. Pretty cool stuff there. We then get a pedigree on the announce table. Doesn't break. That thing is as strong as can be. And then a pedigree in the ring straight after, but that is only for a 2 count. Again, big kickouts. We then get a buckle bomb, which then turns into a stomp, but CM Punk gets his foot on the rope before the ref can count 3. We then get a superplex by Seth Rollins, but instead of landing the Falcon Arrow that he normally goes for afterwards, CM Punk quickly turns into a GTS and then he lands a second GTS as Seth Rollins bounces off the ropes and lands back into him, and he gets the win. CM Punk beats Seth Rollins. 4.25 stars for that match in my opinion. Really good match. Great stuff. Match of the night in terms of just its pure wrestling acumen that it had. I do think they're going to have another match. Don't think that's the end of it. Nor should it be the end of it. And I do think they deserve a pay-per-view level match at some point. For sure. Raw on Netflix. Look. They presented this more like a pay-per-view. There wasn't much storyline development. There wasn't many backstage segments. There wasn't any promos that meant anything. There was a few backstage segments, but irrelevant. So I'm really hoping that from next week we start going back to Raw, and we don't need to promote this big pay-per-view like Raw, and we can start developing stories once again as we prepare for, I think we've got a Saturday Night's Main Event in there, and we've got a Royal Rumble. So I think it's going to be really cool. I'm excited for this. Let me know what you guys thought about the very first Netflix on Raw. And if you're new to wrestling, let me know down below. Maybe you're new to wrestling and you were just seeking out some sort of review on the show to hear what people like me, the hardcores, had to say. Let me know if that's the case with you guys. With that being said, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and peace.